According to the Guinness Book of World Records, who is the greatest salesman to have ever lived? Joe Girard. How did he achieve the status of being the greatest salesman to have ever walked the face of the earth, according to the Guinness Book of World Records? Well, he sold cars back in the 1970s. Now, those of you that remember the 70s, that was not the best time to sell cars. Gas prices and problems and the like. And he sold Chevrolets. Okay. But what made him so successful? Joe sent a card, a greeting card, to every one of his clients every single month for the rest of their life after they bought a car from him. So once you bought a car from Joe Girard, you were going to get a card in January that says Happy New Year, and don't forget your Valentine in February, and Happy St. Patty's Day in March, and April Fool's and Mother's Day. And he said every single month has a holiday except August, where he said everybody a card that said, I bet I forgot your birthday. But everybody got a card. His card file, back then 70s, right? A 3x5 card indexed was insured in 1970s money with the Lloyd's of London for $1 million. He had a separate set of cards that were put in a fireproof safe. Okay, this is the value he considered to have with these 3x5 cards, because they generated these and with these cards that he sent, the outside would change with the holiday, but the inside always said exactly the same thing. I like you, Joe Girard. When he would deliver cars to repeat customers, he would oftentimes find his cards on the mantles. He'd find his cards with magnets on the refrigerator doors. That sometimes it was the only Christmas card, as an example, that someone had received. But his entire key to success, or his claim to fame in becoming the greatest salesman, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, who ever lived, is just simply sending a greeting card once a month to every one of his customers. Now, what can we learn from this? How does this apply to the program at Chamber Revenue Strategies? So Joe Girard is an icon, as we've established, in the automobile industry, in the Guinness Book of World Records, as the greatest salesman who ever lived. Did you know he was selling in Detroit, Ford territory, Chevrolets in the 1970s, where unemployment was running rampant and gas prices, and yet he holds the record still today. No one has got even close. 1,425 automobiles moved in a single year. Over 5 cars per day for every day that he worked. Working strictly by appointment, not taking any ups, and still, over the course of his career, generating over 13,000 cars sold as an individual. Now, no fleet sales, all belly-to-belly stuff, nothing done in volume, all individual transactions. The gentleman made over $250,000 a year in the 70s. What would that be today? In the 70s, selling Chevys in Detroit in the 1970s. Do you think we've got something to learn from him? Let's unpack this a little bit. Joe became a member of the family. You heard me talk earlier about the fact that oftentimes he'd show up to deliver a car and his cards were all over, on the nightstands, on the TV trays, on the mantles, affixed with magnets to the refrigerator. That their decor in their home was Joe Girard's greeting cards, okay? That oftentimes at Christmas and other important events, Mother's Day, he was the only one that remembered the customer. And based upon that, put yourself in that position for a second. Those people would feel like a traitor if they bought a car from anyone other than Joe Girard. In the last 10 years, he sent me 120 cards. How do you buy a car from someone other than, how do you buy a Buick, as an example, even if you like Buicks, or a Ford, even if you like Fords, over a Chevrolet from Joe Girard? How many referrals? And of course, that was an important part of his business. How many referrals do you think he got? Because people would say, oh, you want a good deal? You need to deal with my friend, Joe Girard. It wasn't the salesman down there at Metropolis Motors in Detroit. It was, you got to go to my guy. You got to go to Joe. He'll take good care of you, and he'll take care of you both in the sale and obviously after the sale. And therein lies the important difference: social norms versus market norms. The market norms are particularly abrasive for car dealerships. Everybody knows that you got to be on guard when you walk into a car dealership, right? Or oftentimes that's what people think. But social norms, Joe's a friend. Joe is part of the family. Joe sold me the last 5. Joe sold everybody in my family their cars. We can trust Joe simply based on connecting in a wholesome, sentimental way with a greeting card. And isn't that exactly what we're doing with our Goodwill gift packages? That they're going to get it on their birthday, and 3 months later their wife gets their birthday packet, and their niece who's had a baby gets the new baby packet, and their son, as they get married, has the wedding packet, and mom's just downsized and bought a new condo, and at closing she gets the new resident, new homeowner packet. And then the brother-in-law starts a business and he gets the welcome to the business community, congratulations on your new business packet. That everybody is being touched. All that goodwill is going to place you as the chamber executive, and maybe even more importantly, your sponsors, your members, in the position of being Joe Girard, that they're connecting with every single member of the community at all of the important celebrations of life.